was the boogeyman.
As a matter of fact, it was.
What is going on, guys? Hope it's having a fantastic day today. So we have a lot to discuss here. This news obviously came out last night. Everybody was kind of flipping out about it. I'm not personally flipping out because it really hasn't changed much of anything. We're in the same spot we were the other day, last week, the week before that. The news came out that Jaire Alexander was contemplating retirement. He's officially left the Philadelphia Eagles, and he is stepping away from the team to focus on getting right physically and mentally. It wasn't even a week ago when Jaire Alexander was in the Eagles locker room saying he felt really good, that he had no doubts that he could return as the player that he once was. And a big red flag on Monday before the game on Monday night versus the Packers, where he didn't even travel to Green Bay, and that was just weird enough as it is. Zach Berman even thought it was weird too, pretty much saying that's what made his absence in Green Bay curious. There was a thought about that the Eagles wanted him to get a chance to get healthy and acclimate, although he didn't make health sound like an issue, which he didn't. I figured they didn't let him travel because, hey, he needs to know more terminology. They can get kind of a pull on his health a little bit for another week and kind of get him prepared, get him ready till they give him his shot, the CB2 spot, and see what he could do. But boy, were we wrong about that situation. I feel like there's a lot more behind the scenes to these reports because he was feeling pretty damn positive about leading this team and being a leader and, you know, really doing some things in Philadelphia and his health. And he felt good about almost 100% of everything coming to the Philadelphia Eagles while he was with the Ravens for 2 straight weeks on being a healthy scratch and really trying to get playing time. If Jaire Alexander ends up retiring and then obviously signs somewhere else, whether it's this week, next week, tomorrow, next month, I mean, I don't care when it is, then he can go fuck himself. Not going to push buttons here, but part of the reason why he left, I think, if it's not anything to do with his mental and his physical, you know, you got to get traded, you got to have a physical, you got to be fully healthy before a trade can obviously finalize, and he was healthy, and we have video footage of him saying how great he does feel. I have a feeling that Vic Fangio said to Jaire Alexander that he wasn't going to be a starter, that he was going to be a depth guy for this team down the line in the 2025 season for the Eagles. And Jaire Alexander just didn't like that answer he got from Fangio, and he just completely quit the fucking team. Not saying that it's fact, but saying, in my opinion, there's just more behind this than I could ever imagine, and I hope I'm right, because I don't see why a guy would retire out of nowhere after being so fucking positive last week. Now, what do the Philadelphia Eagles do now? I think you have about, 5 options. Okay, option 1, you start your Corey Bennett cornerback 2. Why not? We've been waiting for this, to happen since the trade happened a couple days before the first preseason game. He never really got his shot. I know he got injured for a little bit, was on IR recently, and now can get his proclaimed shot at this position, and let's just see what he could do, and if they feel good about him, he could, play good the rest of the season. So why not give him a shot? Option 2, if Vic Fangio is not bothered by this because he has promised us he would never put DeJean at the number 2 spot, they could potentially put him at the number 2 spot, and you just, you got Michael Carter from the Jets in a trade. Okay, can play the inside over 80% of the snaps in his whole career in 5 years on the inside. Let's see what he could do, because potentially you could have another new inside guy or a good depth piece there, or maybe that will be the move that moves DeJean around the field after another draft next year or something like that. So DeJean at 2, and then you have Michael Carter on the inside. Not a bad move. Option 3, Asante Samuel Jr. Now, he did sign to the Pittsburgh Steelers practice squad the other day. His father, ex-Eagle DB, Asante Samuel, actually retweeted the Jaire Alexander news and put the eye emojis right there. Okay, which means that potentially he's on the practice squad for Pittsburgh. I don't know what's going on over there regarding Slay at cornerback. I don't know what's going on, but they could rip Asante Samuel Jr. off of their practice squad to join the Philadelphia Eagles and literally claim him if they could do that. Another option they have out there is Stephon Gilmore, okay? Free agent that's out there. I don't know how old he is, probably 34 years old. I mean, he's up there at age. So, I mean, I don't know if he's better than what you have in the building right now than Adoree Jackson, Keely Ringo, and Ja'Cory Bennett. Not really sure, but if the Eagles wanted him that badly, I felt like, without giving up draft capital, they could have got him pretty easily. So that's another option that is out there as of right now. Or they could just keep doing what they're doing right now. Adoree Jackson didn't really have a bad game last week, this past Monday night. I don't think he had a bad game. Didn't play great, didn't play bad. Played serviceable, had a couple good stops at the end. I don't like him being back 12 yards on a crucial third down play while, Green Bay is going down the field, giving up some easy yards. But it is what it is. That's just something we have to deal with. And I don't really want to rely on the defensive pass rush so much and mask our big exploit at CB2, and that's what bothers me the most. The time you watch this, we're going to hear from Nick Sirianni. He's going to probably just never tell us what's going on with that just because he doesn't talk about players and the private conversations that they have, and Fangio will probably not even say anything at all either, but hopefully get some information on what's going on. And to be honest, guys, if there's something mentally going on with him and it's like realistically mental, a lot of stuff going on, especially with the Marshawn Kneeland and all this shit that we've been dealing with this past week. Horrific things when it comes to these players and their psyche. And, people have issues off the field and things are going on. You don't know what's going on with these players, so I don't want to pass judgment. But let me tell you, he signs with another team. I'm going to be even more pissed about this. Nobody should be guaranteed a fucking job. He, of all people, should never be guaranteed, or himself to think coming to the Eagles, he was going to have this fucking job in the bag. Now, I want to get into some of the news that came out the other day from 97.5. There was some breaking news on apparently the 4th and 7 play where the Eagles were in a position to either punt, to either kick, or to go for it. And it looks like that Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown went rogue on that play. Had nothing to do with Nick Sirianni and Kevin Patullo. This has been from multiple sources as of right now. I think Seth Joyner even mentioned that after that play happened, that deep ball to fucking AJ into the end zone, try to get a PI call at that point. I think Sirianni's reaction to that play was, why? This really connects to, I don't know if there's a real beef going on between AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts, but it's quite frankly showing. I'm sorry, but I don't know how A.J. Brown is being blackballed in this fucking offense, and I don't know why they're doing this. Why are they not even throwing his way at this point? Even when he's covered, he's open. Why aren't they at least giving A.J. Brown a shot? I've never seen this with a receiver making the money that he's making. Devontae Smith has been the better option when it comes to separation, and even a smaller size that can contest catches. And Devontae Smith, we know he could do this, but A.J. Brown is not getting a chance out there whatsoever. I never see Devontae Smith on the inside. I never see A.J. Brown on the inside. I never really see these receivers move around that much. And I honestly don't know what's going on, guys. I'm quite frankly kind of worried on where this is going. The more snaps that A.J. doesn't have, the worse it's going to get. And maybe he'll get lazy. Maybe he won't run routes at full speed because, quite frankly, there has been rumors that he was kind of lazy in this game. But I'm not going to say that it is perfection fact, but it is what it is. The 4th down play was, I think, stupid. I think they should have punted the ball, and obviously they couldn't kick it because I think the wind was a factor at that point. You saw that Green Bay kicker at the end try to tie the game up, and that ball was taken by the wind. A bad kick on top of wind taking it, and it barely even made where the fucking field goal was. I have to respect Hurts to say, he makes that throw and it's not a PI and A.J. Brown catches it. The game's in the bag at that point. If they get a PI call, they get closer and closer, and they obviously could waste more time on the clock and pretty much end the game. Sirianni didn't want to kick the field goal because it would have been a 58, 59-yarder. There was a wind trajectory that they didn't really like, and they figured Jake wasn't going to make that kick. Punting the ball, I think, would have been the better option, in my opinion. At least, kick the ball up high inside. I think punting the ball would have been the better option. Kick that ball up between the 10 and the 5. You get some of the guys into the end zone, make sure that ball doesn't bounce over there, keep everything inside, and don't give them almost half of the field because potentially that's what you pretty much did in that game. The defense came out swinging still. The defensive line is obviously so exciting right now. What we could build on with it with Jalen Phillips and what he's been doing. JALYX Hunt, what I tell you guys, he was starting to peak last week. I mean, it really started with the Vikings game. He had the pick 6, and then he really didn't do much. And then we got into that Giants game, and look what he did. He had a sack, he had a TFL, he did really well. Gets to Green Bay, where he's in a deeper rotation with Jalen Phillips included now. And look what happens. I mean, Jalen Phillips had pressure on Jordan Love just for a quick second. It gave JALYX Hunt enough time to get that sack. I mean, he had perfect stats, a few tackles for loss. He was a monster. He was really good. He is peaking. He is looking like his playoff self from last year. Very proud of him, and I was just kind of waiting for it, man. Another player I've been really loving the last 3 weeks has been Nakobe Dean. I mean, patellar tendon injury, the sample size he's had the last 3 weeks. I mean, look, he missed a tackle for loss. He missed a few tackles the last few weeks. And, just coming back the last few weeks, I can probably expect that sometimes. He'll probably miss a play or two, but putting him into the lineup, as much as we don't really want Campbell at that edge rushing position against the run, especially playing downhill in general, especially on a blitz or something like that, Nakobe Dean has just been a physical specimen, and he has been disruptive as hell. That sack, or that close to sack, Jordan Love trying to throw the football so he wouldn't lose some of those yardage on a sack, and it turned out to be a fumble. Jalen Phillips gets the fumble off the ground, which is great, which is awesome, or, gets the forced fumble, which is awesome. So Nakobe Dean playing downhill, getting in on Jordan Love, tanking him down, making him fumble that damn ball, just being disruptive as hell. I mean, Nakobe Dean is just having a really good year, even missing some time. You know what I mean? So he's playing up the standard right now. It's unfortunate with, Campbell, like I said, because his snaps are going to get a lot lower now. But Nakobe Dean is a huge positive for this defense, especially on a contract year, which is even more important. Other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about the Jaire Alexander stuff that's going on. Is he going to retire? What if he signs with another team? What do you think happened behind the scenes? Do you think this is straight up retirement, or, was he expecting a starting job? What would you do at CB2 right now? Are you moving Michael Carter? Are you moving DeJean to the outside? Are you going to try to get one of these free agents that are out there like Stephon Gilmore? Do you try to get, Asante Samuel Jr. and rip him off the Pittsburgh Steelers practice squad? You guys let me know in the comment section below. How do you feel about A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts, going rogue in that game on that 4th and 6, 4th and 7 play? Why is A.J. Brown being blackballed in this offense? A lot to talk about this week. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more Eagles news every single day. Make sure you hit the like button because it helps out tremendously. You guys have a fantastic day. I will see you guys in the next one. Shakes what up, follow. Peace out, guys.